we're going to hand over to these lovely people that have asked questions. First up, surgeon is Michael Carlton. Whilst we're getting the mic to Michael Charlton, forgive me, Michael. Whilst we're doing that as well, I want to give an exceptional shout out to IBM, Laura, Dave, who've covered £1 for every single pound that everybody spent today. This is Dave's book, Right Hook, Behavioral Marketing. There are 10 copies to buy here today. Very happy to give all the money to charity, but please pick one up.
I'll buy them.
Yeah?
All of them. Okay,
done. Thank you. First question for our friend Michael. Is the camera on our friend here so we can get some shine? We got the official cameras on our friend?
You don't like cameras? Dude, you're such a good-looking dude. I'd be all on
my question, I didn't have a question before I came.
You did not, or you did?
I didn't.
And now?
But I do have one now.
Yeah.
When you were discussing about young people being entrepreneurs,
yes.
Like the space that I work in is with people at university. I do nightclub events and whatever else, and I train them up. And I've always got to a point where they've worked for me for like 2 years, and I've helped them, improve them, and they leave, set up their own rival company, and go after me.
Fuck you.
And it does me every time.
Yeah.
And I can't get past a point. And I always tell them, you're gonna fail. Like, you don't know how hard this is. And they obviously go off and try it and fail, and I'm right.
But some have won.
No.
That means
the first one. But everybody after that has failed.
Because the first one left, you got pissed, and you're not teaching them as well anymore.
No, the first one, no.
That's so mad.
Yeah, maybe
I know this game.
Yeah. So the first
it's subconscious. It's not your fault. You're just a good dude.
Better.
You're not a bad guy. It's subconscious.
So what my question is, in
Bless
something
you.
that's got less barriers to entry, like in a market, if you're training somebody up and they can leave, like, when do you just stop training them? Like, how do you just stop doing that?
It's a great question. I'm a bad person to ask because I've done something so weird. I've made it so obvious to my employees. Do you know how many employees have told me their entire plan, big shout out Gabe, was to come to Vayner, steal my shit, and go do their shit? And this is not a zing on you. What I'm doing is I'm making it so obvious that being number 400 with me will make them more happiness and money than being number 1 with them, that they come in and then they change. What I think you need to think about is what can you do to replicate that feeling if that's what you want to do? Or you start building up C players instead of B players.
Yeah, that's basically what I've recently done.
It's going to work.
C players, they couldn't do anything.
That's right, and it's going to work. Yeah. If that's your model, those are your 2 options. Either it's either becoming a super A+ yourself, or playing with C players because Bs are going to be vulnerable in the way that you described. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I love real talk. Fucking love real talk. Guys, start demanding more real talk in these business fucking lectures.
Shout out to you there, Michael. One of the biggest proponents of VaynerWorld, certainly on social media and especially on Twitter. Next question over to Vicky Funky Fairy. Yeah, Vicky. Round of applause for all the love she's given.
You should have that, just so we see where
let's get the mic over.
Yeah. I know her.
Right here. Look at the t-shirt. Stand up as well so we can get you on camera. Like, let's
clap it up. She's a lovely lady.
Give me a shout out.
I've forgotten the question, Raj.
All right. Freestyle.
Okay, Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Do you see a big difference between the UK market and the US market?
No.
Okay. And the reason why I ask is we seem to be on this 1 minute, everybody loves us with all the posts that Mr. Funky Fairy is doing. Facebook features a success story and tells us that we're doing really well. And then 48 hours will go by and then nothing. Put new adverts out. And it's very, very hit and miss.
You mean the feed organically?
All the posts.
I'm trying to figure it out. Help me understand what you're asking.
No, with the adverts themselves, that we split test, we do creatives, we do everything, and we pick the ones that work, and they work really well. So we go down that line again to a different audience, do the same thing, and we bomb out.
Well, maybe because that different audience wasn't the right move.
Yeah, so we're trying so many different audiences in different ways with different creative.
Well, what are you trying to make happen with the content? Get social engagement or create a transaction?
Transaction.
Okay. Well, listen, I can tell you from a lot of data, there's enormous amounts of transactional stuff going on in the UK. So I don't, are you saying that the first thing you did was that going to your organic audience? Or is it all advertising?
It's all advertising.
How many, so you did something and it worked?
Yeah, we
and then you try to do a lookalike or other segmentation?
Yeah.
There's so many different reasons that might not be working. It would probably take up the rest of the night. There's a couple questions. First, the depth and the quality of your product is the number one variable. Some products can sell to everybody in the world, Apple, and some can sell to 6. And so that would be the first thing I would look at if we were hanging out for 6 hours. I'm like, how good is your thing really, right? And is the best segmentation, like I always say, like there's some businesses that have very small cohorts that will convert, and the second you go outside of it, nothing you can do will work because what you're selling is not gonna sell. That's my first intuition. But there's a million other things, but there's definitely nothing different in the UK or the US behavior in big data that makes me think that's the case. There could, that's it. I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah, we just started on Instagram.
Instagram ads are acting funky still.
Yeah.
Like, they're not there yet. The data is not mapping to the cohort. I just ran a piece of content against 18 to 25-year-old African-American males, and the comments have like 60-year-old white chicks in there. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's not working yet, but it's got the potential to be a great product.
Thank you so much.
The product, is really the thing you have to look, because that's very unusual, and the times I've seen it, it's been more about the depth of the product than any other variable marketing thing. Those t-shirts, Snapchat bags, and like Snapchat stuff. So what's the, first of all, if you're trying to sell Snapchat stuff, I'd much recommend more for you to pay Snapchat influencers to do product placement than anything else. That's first.
Which you may have seen already in South by Southwest.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no way to build Snapchat swag as a business because there's 900 people that are doing it. There's no point of differentiation. You'll be completely commoditized. You're riding a quick wave. You're making a quick buck. You're not building a business. You're building Snapchat's business.
Oh, true. Next up is, and I'm going to reading this off handwriting, Glenn Elliott. Is that right, Sujin? Where is Glenn Elliott? Glenn Elliott, stand up. Thank you for buying 50 books, mate. Appreciate it.
Glenn, thank you for buying 50 books.
And that's
very
everybody
handsome.
asking a question right now.
What's your advice on building a great culture in your company?
What is my advice for building great content in your company?
Great culture.
Culture.
Yeah.
I've got a lot on this. And honestly, this is probably the place where I can see myself going more and more, because soon Vayner's really, really, really gonna be big, and it's gonna be really because of this, and then I'll feel confident that I'm allowed to talk about it. I've started talking about it a little bit because we're starting to get big. First and foremost, are you the partners, CEOs, is it your business?
Yeah.
First and foremost, you have to realize in a real way, in a non-bullshit way, that you work for them. If you do not do that, you've lost. If you think people work for you as the CEO or the founder of a company versus you working for them, you will never, ever, 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 zoom in, ever, 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 ever build a good culture in a company. That's number one. That is religious. That is number one. Got it? Number two, you have to realize that there is no blanket rules. Everybody in your company, how many employees do you have?
330.
330. Great, nice number. You have to micromanage 330 people's wants, ambitions, and needs on an everyday basis, predicated on what else is happening in their lives, day after day, month after month, year after year. So what that means is he may be motivated by money. I love when people are like, millennials are so zen. And I have millennials who literally rather work an extra 20 hours for $6 more bucks. They love money. And so you have to figure out what drives them. Is it money? Is it work-life balance? Is it are they a huge, Chelsea fan and you buy them random tickets when they aren't looking and then they're like, oh my God, you actually know something about me, right? You think I pay attention a lot to you guys? I fucking stalk the shit out of my 650 employees on social media. I know who fucking loves Tinder. I know who loves bourbon. I know it all. And so it's very hard to scale one-on-one contacts with 330 employees. The other thing is you have to build infrastructure. Last Friday I announced a new role that I announced was the most senior role in the company besides me, more senior than AJ, more senior than James Orsini, my right-hand guy, more senior than my CFO, who is Claude Silver, who is now my partner basically in the company, and she's the Chief Heart Officer. She will help me scale the mapping of one-to-one at scale. Because you know, Rick, who wants money at 22 to 24 to 27, might want something else when he gets engaged because his partner wants him home on the weekends and he used to want to work and make money, and so he would work on Saturday and now he doesn't want to. Or scarier shit that I'm always mentally prepared for, which is a tragedy may happen in your family and you have to leave for 9 months and you come back shaken. And so you've got to, the only way to build great culture is not only through words that are written on the wall, but in your actions. You have to make every one of those people understand that you care more about them than you want them to care about you. It is the only way. And I swear I'm trying to do it at a level that's never been done before, but wherever I land is what I will have. If I'm a 92 and the market's a 67, that's incredible, right? You can't be crippled by the task. What I just said, some people get crippled when I tell them that advice on 13 employees. You got 330, my man. I got 650, like it's tough. But if you do it, you will build great culture. And if you don't, every step of the way that you do less of it, you will have less of that culture.
Thank you.
You got it. And it's about allocating the dollars to the right things. One of the best things I do is the most talented people in my company, if they are not bought into being the bigger woman and bigger man in every situation, I don't care if they're the #1 salesperson, the best creative director, they're fucking fired, right? And you have to be religious about that. The second you let somebody get away with something, you will lose. And then meritocracy. We started the company with 8 of AJ's friends. Some of them are the number 10 most important and well-compensated employee, and some of them are number 387. Meritocracy, right? If you take care of your nephew better than somebody who's hustling, you've died. You're done, your culture's broke. You let something besides meritocracy rule.
Fantastic.
Belarus, the last place that lets meritocracy fucking, the last place. The last dictatorship in Europe, woo!
Next up is Adrian Savage. Thank you for buying 50 books. Adrian, please put your hand up or stand up. Here he is over here.
Hey Gary.
How are you?
Great, thanks. I saw you at the Infusionsoft event 3 weeks ago.
Infusions, in Sandy?
In Phoenix.
Phoenix, right, thank you.
And I'd previously seen you 4 years before that in Phoenix as well. But when I saw you...
Phoenix is our spot, bro.
It is, man.
See you in 4 years.
Yeah, definitely. But you really hit me in the heart last time in a way that you didn't before.
Okay.
And I started really thinking about content for the first time.
Yes.
But the other thing you hit me with was you said that audience was an audience of transactors.
Yes.
And they are my audience, they are my business, they're my customers.
Yes.
So how quickly are they likely to change? How much do I need to change to accommodate that? And bearing in mind I've now suddenly seen the light, I'm thinking about content for the first time. What else should I be doing differently to take, to give them the best value that I can?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Hold on to the mic. I think that that was an interesting talk because just to give you guys context, digital marketing, a lot of people are in performance marketing and they think that they're in marketing, but really performance is sales. They're in performance sales, right? You caught a good long-term Google ad that's converting. You found an arbitrage on a cohort on a Facebook ad, right? It's transactional. And I'm glad you caught that. I felt really good about that talk because you know as well as I do, that was an interesting talk, right?
Yeah, it really
like
was.
I came in and 98% of the audience was doing one thing and I told them that was rubbish and I told them more importantly that thing was not only rubbish, that it was in deep danger over the next 3 to 4 years, which is true, because a lot of people, as you know, as I know, in that room transact in a desktop internet world. This shit right here, my man, this shit is extinct. Like, this is like fucking, I don't even, what the fuck is this, right? Like, this is over. And so the reason I went at it is, this is over because this is here.
Yeah.
And the fact that I now business travel with only my phone and do all my work on it, it's crazy. I don't even have my laptop bag anymore. It's so weird. And so your email capture pop-up on desktop is kind of fucked up, but acceptable because at least there's other real estate. On this fucking thing, not as good, right? And all your behaviors. So how long? I don't know. But my intuition is a lot of people are quite vulnerable because arbitrage and your move and your commission junction move that worked died. Your Google AdWords thing died. So like a lot of those people get fleshed out. For you, when I hear they're your customers, I like that because I said to myself, okay, if he's seen a light, what you need to do is you need to become a media company. Yeah. You need to put out great content and not about what you do. Let's say you do tax SaaS. Let's say what you did is you found, and I'm sure that's not it, but let's say that you sell software that helps people that are digital marketers do taxes. What you need to do is help put out content not about taxes, but about running a business, right? About, managing your will, like the other things that that person cares about. Got it?
Yeah.
So you need to think about your content directly with what you do, but more broadly so you become a value to them. And then you have leverage. And that's what I try to do with my content, right? I'm trying to talk about a lot of things. I've really opened it up with this emotional intelligence because it's an equal part of running a business, and that's me broadening and bringing value. So I would tell you in podcast form, writing on medium.com, in video form, Snapchat form, whatever's most comfortable to you to communicate to the world, you need to become a media company. As a matter of fact, every single person in this room needs to become a media company. Comma, you sell shit. Wine business back there, big shout out. Wine brand, be a media company first, comma, then sell wine. If you're educating people about wine culture and about cheese and about travel, you then build equity to be able to transact on your wine. But nobody's thinking that way. They're thinking so narrow and so transactional. And what happens with transactions is when there's a shift in platform, they die because they didn't build a brand and they don't translate. I jumped back on Snapchat, there's 20,000 people ready for me to go. That's brand. Every platform I sign up for, if I'm a little bit like, if I want to not do it right away, there's a queue of people ready to hear from me. People squat Gary VEE now on every social network that pops up and then send me an email like, Gary V, I took your name. If you give me an hour, I'll give it to you. I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna get it. So, anyway, brand. Brand survive. Nike didn't Nike didn't cookie my browser and follow me around the internet and make me eventually buy Nikes. I buy Nikes because they branded me.
Got it. It's perfect. Thanks, Gary. You've inspired me since I came back. I've written my first 3 bits of content. And
I'm sorry?
Since I came back from the US,
yes.
I've written my first 3 bits of content. You've inspired me to start moving that direction. Thank you.
How's it feel?
It feels good. It feels bloody good.
Yeah? Did anything interesting happen? Sometimes it takes 6 months, but did anything weird happen that you were like, oh shit?
I started to realise I could do it, and there was something that was actually holding me back up until now. And then suddenly you get it out there. And
then some dude stood on stage and punched you in the mouth, and you did it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But also, I now really understand what you say when your comments are oxygen. I really get that now because I'm starting to get that feedback.
And you know what that feedback does? It helps you strategize.
Yeah.
One of the selfish things with the Ask Gary Vee stuff is I'm learning what people are thinking predicated on what they're asking. It's a scaled version of listening.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Next up is Frank Wesley.
Frank!
Have I pronounced that right? Frank Wesley, put your hand up.
My man.
Let's get the mic over to him.
West Ham fan.
Gary, hi.
How are you?
I'm very well. You need to support West Ham United.
Is that where you want to go? Wow. Have you won a championship in 25
We're
years?
Shit. Don't worry about
Shit?
it. Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah,
Get me more data.
Good stuff,
All right.
I had a question. While I've been watching you tonight, I'm now going to ask a different one.
Okay.
What got me into your content was the rant that you came out with for the older entrepreneur.
Yes.
6 minutes. And I've followed you avidly since then. You talked a little while ago about the 19-year-old entrepreneur.
Yes.
The biggest asset is patience.
Yes.
What is the older entrepreneur? What should they have as their asset? Because I'm not patient. 3 years ago, I started a business with some other guys. We're now 80 people turning over £10 million.
Amazing.
I'm not patient.
You want more?
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
It is amazing.
What's my biggest asset now?
Well, I think your asset is experience. All the cliche stuff, it's just cliche. It's, everybody said it. What I think though is, do I think, instead of saying experience, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Do I think a 46-year-old man has a better chance of knowing himself than a 19-year-old man? Yes, I do. I think we've all gone through it, right? Even think about your transition from high school to university. Like, you just get there, right? You get more comfortable with yourself. The second you get more comfortable with yourself, you start being more honest with yourself. So at this point in your life, and my life, and your life, we should really know ourselves. And so when I hear, it's even interesting for me to hear that you started with a couple other gentlemen. To me, my hope for my own kind of like personal picture that I'm trying to paint here is that the three of you had some crossover skills, but you're all maintaining your core skill, and that's what's helping the business, right? You're taking care of this, that person might take care of that, and the other person's there. That's a very common thing for older entrepreneurs, because at that point, they've shed their wants and their romance about being the best sales guy or the best sales girl, and now they know, I'm really good at CFO, finances, I'll never let us go out of business. I've got the numbers. Don't worry, guys. You go be crazy, because I'm going to make sure we pay our bills. You go make sure the staff loves us. And now we've got this. I was gifted that I do a lot of the principles well, all of them. Finance probably being my weakest, it's probably the one that's most commoditized. And when you're in business with your dad and your brother, if they steal from you, it's a good story, right? So I think that your biggest advantage is that it's probably the narrative to why you were succeeding. Now the question becomes a more interesting one. I'm going to take you in a different place that's probably more grounded in the actual energy. I think the big thing now at this point in your life is to really try to figure out very quickly what you want to happen. And the problem is you have two other people that may want different things. But if you're able to align that you guys want to sell the company soon, because that's a real cash out on that kind of revenue, then all of your behaviors have to go in that direction. You have to figure out who you can sell to. You have to start becoming a media company to them. One of the great misplays of brand is if I wanted to sell VaynerMedia tomorrow, it would happen in 30 minutes, not on revenue, on the fact that I would market to the people that could actually buy me. I don't think Martin Sorrell knows who I am. In 20 minutes, he would want to rip his arm off to buy us. That's what I'm good at. So what I would love to know is how aligned are you guys? And if you're aligned, make all your actions go in that direction. That's interesting to me, right? That's where you can really make something amazing happen. So I think that's something to really give some serious thought to. But I think it's self-awareness at this point. You've got so much more history in your 20, 30 years of entrepreneurship that allows you to, and you should shed even, whatever pride you have left in principles that you don't bring to the table as well as partners do, the more you can shed down to only focusing on what you do. Me and AJ are so efficient because we do not discuss the things that we know the other person's better at. We don't even talk about it. Big. And when one broaches the subject, the other gets pissed, right? Because they're like, why would we even waste time? You know I'm better at this than you. And we've become efficient, like fucking efficient, And time is the asset. So why debate? Got it?
Yeah, that's great. Great. We're on the path, and you've.
And the other thing I would tell you,
validated.
I would highly recommend you forcing your other two partners to over-communicate with the three of you at all times. Like, force communication right now. You're successful, and you're at this age. This is an interesting time. Like, force communication. Anything that you think is sitting in your heart that needs to be talked about with your other two partners, I would tell you to do that tomorrow. The quicker you get it out, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. The final 50-book purchase question is going out to a gentleman by the name of Luke Johnson. Please stand up, Luke Johnson.
Luke! Let's all say Luke!
Cheers, Gary. That might catch on. Gary, I've changed my mind about the question a ton of times, so I'm Luke, founder of Shredded by Science. We're an online education provider for personal trainers.
Okay.
And I know Mike's done a superb job getting shredded.
Yes.
Well done, Mike, wherever Mike is.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah. Let's give Mike a round of applause for
Yes.
the bananas. So in regards to, you said you know where it's going to go in the next 10 to 15 years. Where do you see the fitness industry? Because at the moment there's the online coaching, and everyone wants to be an online coach, and this passive income where we know it's not a passive income. Where do you see maybe VR or the fitness industry going? Because I know you've mentioned about entrepreneur
Tenants.
and an actual personal trainer.
So I don't think I know where things are going 10 to 15 years. I think I have intuitions, and I think what I'm really good at is moving fast when I see it. So that's number one. Look, I mean, fitness is going to only continue to grow. People, you know, any meditation, I think, is one of the great open spaces. So I think the amount of money that's going to be made in meditation is going to be enormous, just enormous. I think meditation is no question the next eating healthy, you know, and working out, right? Mental health is going to become a much bigger conversation, and meditation is at the forefront. And so I think that's one thing that's very clear to me. As far as physical and things of that nature, look, I mean, it's never going to go away. You know, it's going to only grow. Supply and demand is going to happen. It's very low cost of entry to get into the game. You know, I'd like to think that the market weeds itself out from people that are, you know, I look at fitness very similar to the way I look at entrepreneurship. There's a ton of hucksters. Their entire marketing strategy is taking cute selfies to put on Instagram, which is fine and quite enjoyable in a lot of ways, but
A lot easier when you're female.
yeah, I mean, look, because dudes are scum buckets, so that's why. You know, I think that I'd like to think that the people that deserve to win are gonna win because they continue to try to refine their craft and add nutrition into their game, educate themselves, you know. But passive income, when you're online coaching, you're not gonna keep anybody as an online coach if you try to make it passive because you're not gonna be giving them anything. Mike's stopping taking clients. He doesn't want anymore. Like, he's at the prime of his game, and he doesn't want to hire people underneath him to scale, and he's stretched. He's stretched. He doesn't so it only scales so much if you do it right. Or you can trick people for a few minutes and you get top line revenue, but then you have no lifetime value and they go away. And so what, you just keep gonna go to the bottom and trick people and not feel good about yourself and make money in a bullshit way? Cool, fine. I actually fundamentally predict that it's gonna look a lot the same. We're just gonna be doing it in different places. Sure, we'll do VR, and then people are gonna look good in real life versus looking good on Instagram. I mean, like, some people play on vanity, and I'd like to think that it will go through a cleansing where people get exposed for not providing the right value. Some people are just genetically inclined and are in great shape to begin with, and then they just arb what mom and dad gave them to the marketplace, and that sucks. But like, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think it looks pretty much the same. Really, I do. You want to go ahead?
Just in regards to, I know you opened up the London office, and
Yes.
I wanted the amount of value you've provided me and my business,
Yes.
and obviously my team. I'd love maybe to come with the team and do maybe a nutrition training thing for.
You got to talk to
members
Mike.
of
He's in
staff.
charge. Mike's the CEO.
Cool.
I'd charm him.
Fantastic, thank you.
He didn't even let me like.
I didn't even let you what?
Did that extra banana fit into Gary's macros, Mike? Oh, that's good.
He lets me. It's okay when I cheat with fruit. Thanks, Mike. You're a real fucking sport.
Surgeon,
I'm running to the back. I was getting.
I'm going to say go to the back to someone who's been kind enough to stand up for whatever reason. We'll head out to the back. General entry tickets. General entry tickets, make some noise.
Cool.
This guy just snitched on himself. He's got a general entry ticket sat up in the premium section.
You're a real douchebag.
Can I see some hands up here?
Okay, come on.
Hi, Gary, Bina. No bullshit, I didn't actually know who you were before I came here today.
Fuck!
Sorry about that.
I'm kidding. By the way, no bullshit, that's always way better than the reverse. I love it. Go ahead.
I came with a friend, but I'm glad I did. I'm really, really glad I did.
Thank you.
I guess it's a bit deep for me, but I guess I feel like I've grown up in a box. I was told to go to university.
Yep.
Get a degree.
Yep.
Get married.
Yep.
Have a house and have children.
I understand.
And I'm brown, so that was the kind of way our lives were dictated.
Yes. It wasn't recommended.
And I guess like you, I grew up, I did a paper round, I washed cars, I cleaned houses, I ironed. And now I've given up my full-time job. I was a lawyer. And now I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Bollywood Borrowed, and we rent out Indian clothing. Now, what I find difficult sometimes is having the resilience, the patience, and the kind of drive and ambition to keep going, to strive, even when you get knocked down. And even when I'm put up against all this pressure from my parents, my friends, to get a job, you know, have a stable job, have a stable income, it's just about keeping going.
I'm listening.
So what I'm wondering is, what kept you motivated? What kept you going? What kept you inspired?
So it's interesting, when you were talking, you're like, now I'm an entrepreneur, and I was laughing. I'm like, you've always been an entrepreneur. You got forced to do the other thing. No little girl is running around and doing a paper route that's not an entrepreneur. Do you know what I mean? You know, what kept me going is I would suffocate if I did anything else. And I have a funny feeling you would too. So you're more than welcome to not breathe as easy and go that route, or do you. That's on you. You know, like, listen, hit me up on fucking every social network. I'll tell you every day, go do your thing, go. I'm thrilled. I love being a cheerleader. I feel like I got so gifted by having a cheerleader in my mother that I almost feel guilty how good I had it, that I want to give it to you. That's why I love interacting with so many of you. I don't like the motivational part of me because I don't want to go down that guru path, but I'm thrilled to provide it when I think somebody needs it. What kept me going was there was no fucking other like literally, and I'm not joking, I'd rather die than not be an entrepreneur. Die. So like, what was I gonna do? Kill myself? Like you know. So no way. So there, like you have to understand, there was no option. Like I didn't respect anybody else's opinion enough to even let it be a consideration.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Hi Gary, it's Lloyd from Sky Blue Customer Service Experts.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm wearing my suit, and hopefully I get noticed.
We didn't think about that
get
feedback.
noticed suit.
You wore a suit to get noticed because you thought a lot of the other people wouldn't wear a suit?
No, it's a checked suit, so I thought maybe someone would pass the mic to me because I'm wearing an unusual suit.
I think you were right.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
You're a fucking growth hacker.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No one else will that. I love the new Anchor app, and I think it has a big future in customer service as a customer service platform.
Okay.
Because of the conversational style, and that you can actually use audio and your voice and empathy. And I think that'd be good for businesses. And I just wondered what your thoughts are for the future of Anchor.
So as you know, or you may know, I've been very curious about it. I've been using it. I've been talking about it. I've seen a lot of you adopt it as well. And this is very similar to what I did with Snapchat and other platforms. I think voice is a very big platform. I think it's quite convenient. I love how they did it. You just put it up to your ear, right? They've done a lot of things right with the product. I love how you onboard. But now that I've decided it's good, now I don't pay attention. Now I wait. So I already believe it's good. But now I need to know if you think it's good. And when I say you, I don't mean you, dick. I mean the market, the you,
fair enough.
right?
Okay, fair enough.
It's not going to mean jack shit to customer service if nobody's on it.
Yeah.
Got it?
Fair point. Yeah.
So I think it's good. I like it. Now I have to wait for it to have 25 million users. Then I'll pay attention.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey Gary, my name's Ryan. I teach creativity through super consciousness, and
Through super consciousness?
Yeah.
I'm pumped right now. What does that mean? No. I actually don't know what that is. What is that?
I mean, basically, I believe there's a lot of unconscious activities going around the world.
I believe that too.
You know, Brussels being one of the examples of that.
Explain.
And what?
Explain.
Well, unconsciously, I believe that we have an illusion that we're separate, and actually that there's motherfuckers going out there trying to get selfish agendas resolved, when actually we all here to create and create from a place of service in relationship to each other. So
okay.
I'm not pro or anti the guru thing. I do seminars, I speak, all that kind of stuff. It's good to hear someone swear as much as I do on stage. I get a lot of stick for that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I actually feel strongly against a lot of these so-called gurus out there in the world, self-help, personal development.
Okay.
And I kind of get torn between sticking to my guns, sticking to my product and my service, which does really well, which is why I'm a bit tired. Got a lot of great customers. And then taking a directive, particularly on social media, where I specifically point out gaps in, the bullshit philosophies that are being taught to people that don't actually get results. Like for me, if someone comes to my event and they don't get a result, like I want to give them money back. Like whether I think they fucked up or not doesn't matter. And I think there's a lot going on in the world today where people are just rinsing people for money. Because they believe they're gurus, they're getting pumped as gurus.
Good news, not just today. It's always happened. Keep going.
And so my question is, do I keep gunning and just doing my products and keeping quiet to myself, or do I go on like a bit of an attack, but with a smile?
Well, I think that's a very personal question. I mean, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. Like, that's for what? Because you want to clean up the space?
Well, what I find is that, and sometimes, depending on the audience, intuitively, I don't go on an attack.
Yep.
And then sometimes intuitively I do, and it kind of works as a balance. So I was just wondering, I love your aggressive stance and your directness, and so I'm a direct person, but that does ruffle a few feathers along the way.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about anybody's feathers.
Great, me too.
So
I'm
good.
actually allergic to fucking feathers, so there you go.
Good, to me, I think it has to come from what really drives you, right? Like, nobody should decide what your path is on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got it.
We're probably good for about 3 more so that we can get everyone's book signed, and we're gonna come.
Did you say 3 more?
3 more, yeah, and then we're gonna take a 3-4 minute gap, and then set up the book signing. So for the next 3 questions, make them good.
Practicing.
And also make them questions. Make them punchy and questions. Just so that we can.
Don't judge people's questions.
I'm not judging them.
Let's go, darling. Let's
so
go.
We can get signing done.
Hi, Lisa Nichols. Be quiet. Gary said so. Lisa Nichols UK, love you, and all that stuff that you've heard before. I just wanted to say something from a mother of children with special needs, that you've given me permission to not send them to university, and not. And who'd have thought? So I love your, I'm Lisa Nichols 52 and a half, and I can if I want to. Love that.
Thank you.
I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm self-employed.
Yes.
I don't hustle. I've got kids and I want to be there for pick-up, and
Yep.
I just do the little bit that I do.
You do
I
your
enjoy
hustle.
That.
Yep.
But it's not, I'm sorry, Raj. Thank you so much for doing tonight. I just wanted to tell Gary that the bit about EQ is so important. So thank you so much for doing that, because it's my husband is a public school bully. He was well educated, same place as Stephen Hawking, and he says to the children, well, why don't you? I was Nichols at my school, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And not you. And you've given me the permission to let my girls be my girls. So I'm sorry that's not a question, but I had to tell you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Send your husband my way.
So,
Send him.
I have never been as popular as when I have a mic for people to ask you a question. And genuinely, I hate saying no to people. So can you pick the last 2 people? Because
Yeah, pick the guy with the record, because I like the way he's been trying to hack that.
I'm Goldisc Dave from thegoldisc.com, and you can follow me at the Goldisc everywhere. I'm 53.
You look good.
I'm in a very. we're in a minority, the over 50s here. I make shit.
Yep.
I make stuff.
Yeah.
And I just want to find another way of... We do things like the number one on the day you were born, which is yours.
Thank you very much. What was it?
You want to pass that forward?
Thank you. What was number one?
Find out. And we do them, the number one on the day you were born, and we do wedding first dances, but they tend to be one-off purchases.
Yeah.
So I want
Have you run Facebook ads?
Some, yes.
What's going on?
Little,
Are you good at it?
I'm not good at it. I'm 53.
I don't give a fuck. That is not the right excuse.
But
that's not the right excuse. I understand about that. I figured that part out.
Was David Bowie.
Really good.
What was it?
Wait, don't.
You say.
No, okay, the number one, How Timely, Space Oddity by David Bowie.
I love it.
And it's green for the Jets.
I love it. Thank you. So first of all, you're 53. It's your business?
It's my business.
Good. You can't.
It's my passion.
Great.
I
Even
love
better. It. Great. Facebook.
Yeah.
You will kill with it.
Do I need to do video and just get in people's
you need to
faces?
target people that were born in 1975 with 1975 shit. Okay. You will kill with it. Okay. A company called BuzzFeed fundamentally built an empire on the back of that targeting.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that I'm not good at it because you're 53.
Yeah.
Like.
But I love it. I follow you and.
Well, you can follow fucking Gandhi. I don't give a fuck. I want you to be good at it because it's. Do you know what a layup is? I don't know if you guys use that slang. It's a fucking layup. It's your business that is targeted at a one-to-one basis is insanely easy to convert on Facebook if you gave it more than a bullshit try. God bless. God bless. Listen, there's 70.
I'm gonna be a busy guy today.
There's 70 million people that can fucking it's a layup. You have to figure it out. If you do it, your business will go tremendously well, and you'll have more time to do your passion.
Cheers, Gary.
Cheers.
Up the Potters. You need to follow Stoke City. Check out Stoke City. West Ham have won a cup. For fuck's sake.
Respect. All right.
Last question of the evening.
I want to go with that dude all the way in the corner who never thought he was going to have a chance to ask the question.
Wait, who are we looking at?
You.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Gary, how you doing? Come on, camera. Gary J here from Too Fresh.
One second.
Want me to sign it?
I'm just thinking, can I sit on the stage so I can be the first one to
Yes. Yes. Sit.
Thank you so much.
Sit.
I'm sitting on the stage.
All right, go ahead.
Jay from Too Fresh here, Gary.
No, you can't promote. You got to fucking sit. Relax. All right, my man.
So, I run a video marketing agency, Gary.
Very good.
And we're so passionate about Facebook video ads at the minute because of how targeted it could be.
Okay.
Do you think that's going to be where all the attention goes in terms of video content and spending money on video marketing?
Not all, but a fuckload.
So do you see it in terms of taking over YouTube as in a player in terms of content as well?
Not taking over, but taking a ton of market share.
So you definitely recommend to keep focusing and specializing in that skill and promoting that to our clients?
Yes, but also start building skill to make video for native Snapchat.
Thank you, big fan. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.